Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and the death of Dr. Karen is just on the horizon, and we have a trailer, and I'm so excited for this end of the era. I know a lot of people aren't, but I just need a little bit of catharsis to really bookend Doctor Who for me. I love the series, if you can't tell, and her era just totally annihilated for me, especially the Timeless Children, but the poor writing throughout really exemplified why I hate this series. That was my primary concern with it. And I'm done. I don't know how much of the 14th Doctor I can stomach, even with Russell T Davies' return, but I need to see her die in painful agony for a little bit of catharsis. And it seems like we're almost there. So we've got a new trailer out from the BBC. I want to see how truly awful this trailer is, if it even provides anything. This is my first time watching it in a moment here, but we will also be covering a new poster and an article from Shill saying why she was the best thing to happen to this series ever. Like, ever. But let's jump right into it. So we have this trailer here from the Doctor Who official Doctor Who Twitter account, and her final battle, her deadliest enemies, coming 23rd of October, 2022. It's coming. It's what, 2 weeks away? 2.5 weeks away? Let's see. Just over 2 weeks, and I can't wait. This is the most excited I've been for an upcoming Doctor Who episode since Capaldi. Yeah, since Capaldi. Yeah, but let's jump right into it. Again, this is my first time watching it, so we'll see how bad this thing truly is.
Hello, Doctor. Welcome.
Alright, I do need to pause regularly because the BBC is very strict on their copyright system, but why are they putting the text up on screen? I saw the first few seconds of it on YouTube and they were doing the same thing, and like, I don't get it, what it is with this era about putting text on the screen. Does it make it more profound?
To the end of your existence.
Old footage, we already knew this from the initial trailer, from after... Yeah, we already knew all that from the end of the, whatever, the sea monster episode. I can't even remember that one. Legend of the Sea Devils. I don't remember a single thing that happens in that piece of crap. But, yep, nothing new.
Leading seismologists have gone missing. 15 of the world's most valuable paintings have disappeared.
Alright, a bunch of scientists and paintings have disappeared. Not really seeing the connection, getting some 50th anniversary vibes with that, you know, curator museum scene that we just had with the paintings missing. I don't know, whatever. And Yas, of course, Yas is still in it. She seems just as confused as us that she's still in this show. Oh, big budget. Oh, that's terrible background CGI. What a landing. Yeah, he jumped. Oh, this is so exciting, guys. Why aren't you seal clapping?
Can I let you in on a little secret?
You're ranking it? Yep, we knew the Daleks were going to be in it.
Has it never occurred to you that it could be a trap?
We're going to get the, whatchamacallit, the people from Doctor Who Flux who are rumored to be the Doctor's parents back, and I'm guessing that's what's going to be the case. She's not just from another universe, she's from our universe and just some random kid who passed through a portal and became special because of the portal. That's what I'm guessing, and a lot of people are guessing is going to happen. So, Time Lords aren't special. They're not self-made anymore. They're just magic space baby. That's what the Timeless Children made. And now she's not just some random thing from another universe. She's just space baby who passed through space asshole, and was birthed into space place where people picked her up. Wow, you really traded out the great origin of the Time Lords for a piece of shit. And I'm not sure why the TARDIS letters have changed to laughing. It seems very Joker-like, but that has happened before with Bad Wolf, but that was more in the Doctor's head than anything.
This is the day you are erased forever.
Oh,
A conversation stopper.
They're redoing Name of the Doctor now. The Doctor's getting erased from history by the Daleks. That's what happened with the Great Intelligence in the Name of the Doctor. Wow, they have zero creativity. What stuff that they add is cheap propaganda crap, and the stuff that they reach from the past is nearly all of it, but they're repurposing crap. This is some Jar Jar Abrams level of repurposing, and Chris Chibnall, he's always been a hack. Even his episodes in the Matt Smith era, which I do love the Matt Smith era, are horrifically bad. Nowhere near as bad as he is now, because at least he had the tutelage of Stephen Moffat to really guide him in the right direction. But yeah, now they're reusing The Name of the Doctor, an episode that people are fine with, not really an outstanding one. So 50th anniversary, Name of the Doctor, really going for that 2013 nostalgia. The lone Cyberman? That dude's dead. Fuck, I don't... Space lasers. This seems like a generic, like, sci-fi channel thing that, like, has nothing to do with Doctor Who. I've seen zero Doctor Who besides the spacesuits that they wore earlier from the David Tennant era. Yay! That's what you want from Doctor Who. The only recognizable thing from it is some spacesuits. Yay.
It's incredibly dangerous.
I don't want Ace and Tegan to come back. I was never a super big fan of Ace. I thought she was fine. But Tegan was one of my favorite classic companions. I loved her interactions with Peter Davidson. Peter Davidson and her had some really great adventures together. I don't want to see either of them ruined, but especially her after all this time. It's like they're intentionally either trying to entice you back with nostalgia or intentionally just trying to tear down classic Who now that they've so soundly done new Who. It's the only thing left is classic Who.
Anything could happen.
Yes, her final battle. Let her die.
I don't want it to end.
We got another shot of her regenerating. Yay. Doctor Who, this is what we get. That was a terrible trailer. Let's see if there's a stinger at the end. No, the text is regenerating. How profound. Wow, you guys are so smart, guys. All right. That looks like it's it. All right, the majority of that was old footage that we've seen before, repurposed. Not really anything new about this special do we know, besides that apparently some seismologists have been kidnapped and some paintings stolen. Yeah, that really opens things up, and the release date of October 23rd. Nothing says Doctor Who in this besides occasionally the TARDIS flies by and they wear some Satan Pit spacesuits. It's ridiculous, and it's cheap repurposing with agenda at the forefront. I can't wait for there to be a good, big girl power moment with her past companions, and it's just going to be so cringe, and Dan just standing there like, everything that people are so amazing, I'm so stupid. Yeah, he had several of those in his last few episodes that I saw. Can't imagine that when there's 5 female main characters in this one, that he won't have several of those coming up. But hey, October 23rd, just over 2 weeks before we see the end of the Dr. Karen era, and I just can't wait for it to actually happen. That trailer was a giant nothing burger that has nothing to do with Doctor Who, besides a couple visuals and some repurposing storylines. And this looks like it's going to be the poster for it. Again, not really saying anything. I hate this lone Cyberman deal. It was really pathetic all the way back in season 12. I'm not interested in this actor. I do like from the Sherlock TV series. I just don't see him as the Master, and the Daleks. They're going back to the original design that they did ever since the New Year special because people hated the female Dalek they did back in Resolution, and I'm just ready for it to be over. I don't care about anything I saw there. It's gonna be terribly written like the rest of her era has been, but at least it'll be over, and I don't really have any hope for the Russell T Davies era coming up because he's not the same man that he used to be. I don't think he's capable of it, and I don't think the BBC's going to allow him to be capable of the great writing that he used to have. They are still involved. I know Bad Wolf is doing the production, but BBC still has enough influence that it could shape the show enough that he won't have the creative freedom that we'd hoped he had back in the day. Now I don't even trust his creative freedom. But that's what we have coming up. And to round things off, I just have a brief article here from Shill BR talking about the Jodie Whittaker era. Jodie Whittaker brought new life to Doctor Who and made the show better. I really hope that they provide examples to this because that has not been my experience whatsoever. The show, the ratings are the lowest it's been in nearly 60 years. Like, her last episode was one of the lowest in 60 years. And that's really bad. There was less people back in the 80s when they got their other lowest episodes at the end of the Sylvester McCoy era than they do now. There's a lot more people in the world, in the UK, and they got less viewerships than that. This is incredibly sad that this man is just like, oh, it's better, but nobody likes it. Oh, yeah. So let's see if he provides any evidence for this grandiose statement here. It's never been a better time for fans of franchises to get new content. Each new thing brings its own controversy. Just don't think, just consume product and get ready to consume next product. It's all about the new thing. Oh, the new thing is the best thing since the last thing. Ooh, Big Daddy, just shove it down my throat. I'm a consumer. It's not the best time. It's actually the worst time for fans of franchises because everything's getting summarily destroyed one by one. Doctor Who happened a few years ago. Star Trek, yeah, that's all Alex Kurtzman's doing. Lord of the Rings, that's happening right now. Star Wars, J.J. Abrams, a lot of bad reboot people through all those destroying of franchises. All the most beloved franchises are getting summarily destroyed and repurposed, and then they're dying. Their fan bases disappearing, their viewership numbers cratering, their box office pitiful. Why is this the best time for franchises? Oh, because it's new, and like, it's better because it's new. With Jodie Whittaker debuted in Doctor Who, she faced challenges, but successfully brought new life to the character and helped the show grow and improve. Not talking about the viewership numbers, because they sure as hell didn't grow, and it sure as hell didn't improve in the writing, as so many people have detailed. JX's videos on it have been some of the best breakdowns that I've seen. Definitely go check out Jay. And it continues. The big way that Jodie Whittaker changed the series was by showing the Doctor's regenerations are not bound by gender. All right. Oh, it's so good to change, and she's got a vajayjay now, so it's better. No, that's not implicitly good or bad. I think it's contradictory to the show and should not have been included based on what we knew before, but it's just like, oh, it's better because it's different with vajayjay. Yeah, that's not an argument. That is a zero argument. So he's really already starting out quite profound and strong in this article. And he briefly talks about how this change mechanic is built into the universe ever since William Hartnell was having some health problems and they had to bring in Patrick Troughton to keep the series going because of those health problems. And so they're like, why do people complain about things changing? It's built in the change. There's still a core that was always there. And this era summarily destroyed, stomped on that core, and mocked fans for being upset that the core was gone. There needs to be a core in a turbulent series to keep people invested. It's okay to have change. Change has been throughout the show's history, yes, absolutely. But you got to still keep the heart of Doctor Who, and this era definitely did not. Yet the 13th Doctor changed the series in more profound ways than simply existing on screen as a woman. Please name those coming up here, because no one really believes you because the viewership numbers are vanishing. It used to be a worldwide phenomenon, this show. Now, barely anyone watches it. Yeah, alright, how did it improve? Existing as a woman on screen is not an argument, just like you said earlier, but it's more than that. Alright, what is more than that? Chris Chibnall took over and changed how this show was made, as there were fewer episodes and longer breaks in between. Yes, and that's very annoying how he did that. Go back to the yearly, and they were longer seasons and better written. Where's this argument leading? This had the effect of making Doctor Who feel like a special event rather than just something that happens every year. That's not an argument. It's like, ooh, it's rare, so it's special. Okay, so far we've got vajayjay better and rarity makes it better. Those are non-arguments that do not improve the show. They're non-factors. This had the effect of making Doctor Who feel like it's, yeah, we already read that. The show also became more cinematic, with each episode looking like the pristine 50th anniversary. Now that is a bald-faced lie. The visual effects, if that's what he's talking about, are inferior compared to the Peter Capaldi era, which had the more episodes every year for the most part, besides that 1 year break that they had. Jodie Whittaker's era had an entire episode where the big climactic finale was a spaceship going through an asteroid field, but they didn't want to show the outside of the spaceship, and so the pilot just kind of had a headset on and his hands like this, and he's like piloting like this, and you just see him going like this. It's like, oh no, we're about to crash! Oh, we're good! Oh no, we're about to crash! They wouldn't show out the window of the ship. They wouldn't show the outside of the ship. It's just some fucking retard going, oh no, oh no, oh no. Is that cinematic? No. That Pating episode was just horrific. And so, yeah, their argument, there's less of it. There's a JJ and the visual effects are shit. Yeah, great argument so far. In many ways, Doctor Who is similar to another fan favorite, Star Wars. Ooh, you better not be going there. When George Lucas brought the series back, it was much as the time went back between the 80s where fans were gobsmacked. So yeah, there was a similar break going on between the series from when New Who came back and when Star Wars came back from the original trilogy versus the classic series. Very similar times. All right, there is the comparison there. Names and places were familiar in the prequels, but the saga didn't feel or look like what it came before. Over time, older fans and Clone Wars fans made peace with Star Wars and how to... He's making an argument here that I am not okay with. He's comparing Jodie Whittaker's era to the prequels. To the flippin' prequels. That's not a comparison you want to make. Like the Star Wars prequels, these new Doctor Who fans will discover the rich history of the series when Ncuti Gatwa goes into the 14th Doctor, which isn't confirmed. Whittaker will fold seamlessly into history and show and propel it forward for another decade or more. So it's like, oh, people didn't like the prequels when they came out, but then they became fan favorite later. There's still a heart in the prequels. Yes, they're poorly written at a lot of instances, but there's still the heart there. And there's still the care, there's still the world building, there's still a lot to love about the prequels. Jodie Whittaker's era took everything that you love besides names and places and utterly annihilated them, changing the history to a profound degree. And that's nothing compared to what George Lucas did. The midichlorians are not comparable to the Timeless Children. The Timeless Children is an abomination that destroys the show's past and puts its entire future in jeopardy. So, yeah, it's not going to fold seamlessly. It's like you're shoving something in there that doesn't belong. That's the Timeless Children. So, yeah, not seamlessly so far. So, argument so far. For JJ, special event rarity, cinematic looking like shit, and people like prequels. Now this is where it closes out. So far, that's the argument we have. While the Chibnall era was unbalanced, he and his cast pushed the show into unfamiliar territory, which, as unsettling as it can be, is always a good idea. Change, just implicitly good. Doesn't matter if it's shit. It's just change, good, always good. So this man's big climactic argument to why Jodie Whittaker and her era made the show better, it changed. Change isn't implicitly good or bad. The effects of the change and the change itself has to be weighed individually and see how it fits into the universe and needs to be written well. I would argue that none of the changes made in the Whittaker era accomplished this in any sort of positive manner. But his argument is, ooh, change, good, good because different. That is a series of nonsense that does in no way prove his argument that it brought new life to Doctor Who and made the show better. The show is in no way better, and new life to the series. It's getting the lowest viewership in 60 years with a much larger population in an money-buying capacity. Wow. This is the shilliest of shill articles that I have ever seen, just grasping at straws to make a non-argument out of thin air. And it's really pathetic and just really fits in with the mentality of the Whittaker era in general from both the writers and the consumer stand perspective that still like this god-awful abomination piece of shit. And I am looking forward to October 23rd just to see it all burn. I don't think it's going to get better personally coming up, but at least this shit will be over and the bitch will die. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Unknown. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.